Welcome dear students. In this video we will be talking about the next property of the material, that is the toughness, and of course how to measure the toughness, their measurement. Okay. So dear students, when you talk about the toughness, this toughness is nothing but the ability of the material that can absorb or the impact energy up to the failure point. Okay, up to the or the ability of the material to absorb the energy, ability of the material to absorb the energy up to the failure, up to the failure. So this is called it as the toughness. Okay, so dear students, so generally toughness is measured as, so it is measured as, or it is measured the considering, by the considering the area of, very important, it is measured as considering the area of the stress strain curve. Okay, stress strain curve up to where? Up to the failure, up to the failure. So dear student, this is the toughness. Okay, so dear students, we know that the area of the stress strain curve represents the toughness, but how it is representing the toughness per unit volume, right? It is giving the toughness per unit volume, per unit volume. And when we are defining the term property per unit volume, that will be the modulus, isn't it? The modulus of toughness. So very nicely if we plot the curve. Okay, so dear students, so up to the failure, whatever the energy which is absorbed by this material under this stress strain curve, the stress and strain curve, dear students. So this entire region under the stress strain curve, right? So that will give us the toughness value. Okay, so definitely if I talk about this area of this curve, so what I can write here? So for that I can say that it will be the stress into strain, isn't it? Which will be the unit of what? Stress will be unit of, say, Newton per meter square, and the strain will be, say, I will talk about, say, normal strain. Okay, it will be the meter per meter. Okay, so definitely what I can write there? Newton meter divided by meter cube, isn't it? And you know that what is this Newton meter is nothing but the work done, that is the energy absorbed in terms, say, joules per meter cube, isn't it? So this energy actually, dear students, that absorbed up to this failure point, up to this failure point, is nothing of but our toughness per unit of volume, that is per meter cube. Okay, so this is known as the modulus of toughness. Okay, so this is how we can call it as this toughness, as the modulus of toughness. Okay, it is the energy absorbed by the material up to the failure. Okay, so dear students, now there is one more term that we are having, that is the resilience. Okay, resilience. So this is the energy up to what? So it is the energy absorbed by the material up to the elastic limit. So if this is the curve, stress strain curve, dear students. Okay, stress versus strain. So this is the energy up to, say, elastic point is here. So the energy absorbed by the material up to the elastic limit, up to the elastic limit. So this will be the elastic limit. Okay, elastic point. So that energy is definitely called as the resilience. And dear students, when we release this load, this energy will be get unstored. Okay, so actually this resilience is what? The ability of the material that can absorb the energy up to the elastic limit, and when we unload it, it will release the energy. So dear students, again it is calculated by considering the area of this stress strain curve. Okay, but up to where? Not up to the failure point, up to elastic limit, up to elastic limit. And dear student, if you see here, it will be the right angle triangle. Okay, so we definitely can write this resilience is equal to half into base is what? E into sigma, isn't it? So this is actually this resilience, dear students. And if you have the value of this strain, that is this change in length divided by original length, isn't it? So in terms of, say, we know that stress is proportional to the strain, and stress is equal to E times, that is modulus of elasticity proportionality constant. Okay, so we can write here E as sigma divided by E. So if I put here value of this E in terms of this modulus of elasticity, so it will be sigma divided by E into sigma. So I can write this sigma square divided by 2E as the resilience, isn't it? So dear students, again this resilience also we can have this modulus of resilience. This is the energy absorbed per unit volume. This energy nothing but the this up to this elastic limit, whatever the energy absorbed, that is nothing but the resilience per unit of volume. Okay, or the formula we can get, that is sigma square divided by 2E, that is also nothing but the resilience, isn't it? So one more thing, dear students, we can have one more definition, that is what is proof resilience. Proof resilience. So this is what? So whatever the energy absorbed, this is the energy absorbed by the material up to the proportionality limit, that is known as the proof resilience, that is known as the proof resilience, isn't it? So dear students, like that we can also able to define along with the toughness, that is resilience and proof resilience. So now dear students, if you look how to measure, or the measurement of toughness of, say, brittle material. Okay, initially I will take the brittle material, then we will talk about the ductile material. So dear students, see, if we see the area of the stress strain curve for the brittle material, okay, so definitely brittle material having not that much capacity to absorb the energy. So because, so they are not having any kind of yielding, they simply break. Okay, so for that reason, this area of the stress strain curve for the brittle material is not possible. Actually, it's very small, and therefore this area method is not actually suitable method for measurement of the toughness of the brittle material, isn't it? Because they are not having that region in the stress strain curve where we can measure this area under this stress strain curve, isn't it? So that is the reason why, say, if I take the example of, say, cast iron, so directly it will, after yielding, it will break here. Okay, so this area, if you look at the area under stress strain curve, is very less. So that this actually area measurement method we are not using for the brittle materials. Okay, So dear students, say example again, if I take the glass, okay, so brittle materials are there. So they are having very small this area under the stress strain curve, and that is the reason why the regular area measurement method is not applicable for those materials. So dear students, here for the brittle materials, this impact test method, which test? The impact test method is used to measure the toughness of this brittle material. Okay, so dear students, it is having the two types. One is called as the ISO test, and the another is called as the Charpy test. Okay, so dear students, if you look at this first test, that is the ISO test. So dear students, here this specimen is like the cantilever beam. Okay, and we are having this weight, right? I will draw the diagram here for the ISO test. Okay, so here we have placed the specimen with the notch, okay, like a cantilever, and here this hammer is going to have impact on this specimen. Okay, so hammer of weight W, and at initially it is at height h1. Okay, so after the impact, so hammer will be at height h2. Okay, so definitely energy at point 1, if I have, that is this W into h1, and the energy at point 2, it will be after impact W into h2. Okay, so dear students, here if we see this toughness value will be given as the energy difference at point 1 and at point 2, that is weight of the hammer is constant, it will be h1 minus h2. Okay, so dear students, you can see here this V notch, so it is at the distance 30% from the free end. Okay, and which is at 70% from the fixed end. So dear students, so actually the thing is that here at the middle of this specimen, this notch is created to initiate the crack, isn't it? To initiate this crack, we have made here this V notch, and to reduce also the weight of the hammer. Okay, otherwise if you are not giving any initiation for the cracking, then you should apply the very large weights. Okay, so the two things we have actually here, that the specimen can get easy crack and the weight of the hammer get reduced. Okay, so dear students, the thing is that when you talk about this ISO test, so this ISO method not giving us the more accurate results, dear students. Of course, for the toughness measurement, as we are having here, very importantly, the non-uniform stress distribution, where in the specimen, in the specimen. So that is actually we can say this is a limitation of ISO test, because the test results are not more accurate, right? So this is actually about the impact test methodologies, and we have discussed about the ISO test. Now dear students, if I take the next test, that is we are having here the Charpy test. Charpy test. So here the specimen is placed like the simply supported beam manner, and here at the middle of the workpiece will be having the notch, right? So at the middle of the workpiece will be having the notch. Okay, or we have created the notch at the middle of the specimen. So dear students, this Charpy test method gives more accurate result. Please remember, it will give the more accurate results of toughness measurement. Why? Because of uniform stress distribution. Because of second point I can write uniform stress distribution in the Charpy test. Okay. So dear students, so if you make a note that this impact test method is not useful to measure the toughness of the ductile materials. Of course, why I told you. Okay. So the toughness of ductile material, uh, because instead of they have to fail, isn't it? But ductile material, what it is undergoing, it will undergoing the bending. Okay, so that is the reason why, dear students, the impact test methods are not useful to measure the toughness of the ductile materials. The test impact test are not used to measure the toughness of ductile material. So when we apply the impact load, the ductile material will not break, but it will bend. It will bend, but not break, right? So that is the reason why we are not using this impact test in case of the ductile materials. Okay, so please remember this thing, dear students. So this is about the toughness and its measurement. Okay, the toughness and its measurement. Definitely ductile material you can go for this area measurement method under the stress and strain curve. Okay, so dear students, this is about the toughness of the material. Thank you so much.